Hello, and welcome to the Book Marketing Simplified podcast. I am Jen Hanson-dePaula.
And I'm Marcus-dePaula. And when it comes to social media, we hear a lot of people obsessing a lot of times about the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, you would think the bigger audience you have, the more books you're going to sell. But you actually have a different mindset than that.
Yeah, I've worked with so many authors over the years that have been in different situations where maybe their release date crept up on them and they kind of laid everything in front of their publisher and they assumed that the publisher was going to be doing all this stuff. Maybe they're self-publishing and they just decided on a whim to release their book. You know, there's so many different scenarios. I see so many blog posts and books and other tutorials out there on how to have the perfect book launch. And I often think, well, what if your situation isn't perfect? What if things got away from you? What if you didn't have the setup that you originally intended to have? So I think it's important to talk about the fact that, yeah, there isn't always going to be the perfect launch. And so many people focus on the launch that they kind of forget that their book has a long life ahead of it.
It's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. And I've said this, the bulk of your sales are going to come after the release date. They are not going to happen right on the launch day or on the launch week. So the idea of launching to this massive audience or not launching until you have a massive audience, I just don't think that that is what we need to focus on. And there are many ways where you can get the ball rolling, even if you have a smaller audience to begin with.
So we don't need to use our followers as a measurement of our success.
No. And I think so many people think that the number of followers are an indication of how many books they're going to sell.
Right.
And that is absolutely not the case. I've known way too many authors who have just accumulated. They've collected followers and they haven't engaged with them. And they've been very disappointed in their book launch when they didn't get the sales
numbers. Yeah. So whether you have a large audience or a small audience, what should authors be focusing on?
I always tell authors that your marketing or your promotion shouldn't be about convincing people to buy your book. It should be about showing those that you're already connected with that you have this book available. You've already established a know, like, and trust factor with people who you have their attention, who you're already connected with, and who are wanting to support you. And even if that is a small group of people, that's fantastic. That's more than no one. And so the first thing is to always focus on who you're already connected with, whether this be family and friends, whether this be a writing group that you're a part of, organizations that you're connected with, and people that are aware of you, that are aware that you are a writer. You can just let them know that you have a book coming out. I think that so many people use ads as kind of a crutch with this. They think, okay, if I put an ad out there that just says I have a book available, that will do its job. And it won't.
That's exactly what I was thinking, that you start where the easy sale is. So you start with the people that are already familiar with you, that you know already like what you have to say. And so many times when people think of marketing, they automatically think ads.
Yes.
And the ads are basically, it's this, as you've said before, the spray and pray approach a lot of times of putting, hey, I've got this book for sale out there, so it shows up randomly on somebody's Facebook feed. Maybe not totally randomly because they're, using their algorithm to figure out what they like. But even so, if they've never heard of you, why would they want to jump right in and buy your book based on an ad?
This also brings up a good point about there's something called a warm ad and a cold ad.
Okay.
A warm ad or a warm lead is people who are already familiar with you. These are the ads that you can just let them know, hey, I have a book coming out. And usually I would not pay for that.
Right.
I would just put something out to my newsletter list, to my social media, asking my author friends or my other friends, if you wouldn't mind posting this, that'd be great. These are warm leads. But a cold lead or a cold ad is when these people have no clue who you are.
Never heard of you.
Never heard of you. And if I were to be paying for ads, I would not put money towards a cold ad where it's just announcing that you have a book. That is pointless because people don't know who you are. They don't know what this book is about. There's nothing in it for them. They're not going to take a risk on this. So with a cold ad, I would use that as a means to start people to get signed up for your newsletter list, meaning you're offering some free incentive for people to get into your funnel, to sign up for your newsletter list, to get that know, like, and trust factor rolling. So then later on, you can let them know about your book. You can lead them to the sale. When you just ask someone, it's like stopping someone in the middle of the street saying, hey, buy my book.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Well, and this is why we harp so much on the ideal reader, because you have to know who you're trying to reach before you can even understand what it is they're going to respond to that you have to offer. So this is all part of the process that we've talked about so many times before.
But to get things started, really focusing on who you're already connected with and roll from there.
So in addition to connecting with the people that are already listening to what we have to say and already know us, what else can we do when we have a small audience to market our book?
The next thing, and we've talked about this a lot, is reaching out to local bookstores, libraries, connecting with librarians, maybe local writer groups,
book clubs,
thinking local and then growing from there. We often think that we have to start at a national level if we're just starting off, but starting local and ballooning out from there is really the most effective way to start to get word of mouth going, but it's also so much more doable and it's inexpensive. You just take a few moments out of your day or, schedule some time throughout the week to go and drop in and meet these booksellers, to meet these local bookstores and to talk to your librarians. It's something that you're developing relationships, but they are also a fountain of information of other connections that you can reach out to as well.
And something you talk about a lot is the relatability factor with what you're saying and who you're trying to connect with. Your geographic location is a great relatability factor.
Absolutely. And they want to support local authors. They want to support reading in their communities because when there is a local author, more people will want to support that in the area. So it makes sense to reach out locally and then balloon out from there. And those connections will lead on to even more connections.
You can just slowly grow your circle of influence geographically. All right, so is there anything else that authors can do when they have a small audience to market their book?
The third thing that I would suggest is looking into a Goodreads giveaway.
What is that?
Goodreads is like the readers' social media hangout place. It's where people talk only about books.
And I'd be surprised if you're an author and you're not aware of Goodreads.
Yes. Goodreads is one of those outlets. It's not the most user-friendly. It's not like a regular social media outlet. It's more of a place where you go to discover new books.
Gotcha.
Basically. Also, I like using Goodreads as a place to organize my reading list, to see what new authors there are, what new books they're releasing. It's a really great place to just meet fellow book lovers as well. And so tapping into their giveaways are a really great way to get your name out there and to expand your audience. It is something that costs a little bit of money, but there are two tiers, and definitely stay towards the standard tier. It's $119. And you don't need the $599 giveaway for sure. But the standard giveaway, what you can do is give away digital books. So you aren't having to mail physical copies to people.
Because that costs money.
That does cost money.
And time.
And the great thing is it's letting people know that this book by this author is available. It's a great way to get you on the radar of people who love to read. You can give away up to 100 digital copies.
Okay.
If you feel comfortable giving away 100 copies, that's awesome, because that is just a great way to let people know about your book. And Goodreads also emails them, because they are a winner of the giveaway. They send them a reminder to leave a review either on Amazon or on Goodreads.
Because Amazon does own Goodreads.
Amazon owns Goodreads. So it's a really great way to not only expose your book to more people, but to get more reviews rolling.
Right. Can you walk us through really quick what that process looks like?
Yeah, all you have to do is you have to have an account, obviously, but you also have to have an author account.
In Goodreads.
In Goodreads. You have to have an ISBN number in order to get things rolling. And
which is the barcode associated with your book.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of information that you have to have in place before you can get an author account. Then once you have that all set up and you have your Amazon account connected to your Goodreads author page, you are able to do a giveaway. And so you just go to the giveaway tab, you select which giveaway you want to do. I would just do the standard. Then you choose to either give away physical books or digital books. I would suggest doing digital. And then you just say the dates that you want the giveaway to be. I usually say have the giveaway be maybe 2 weeks or so. I think Goodreads recommends having it be a month long.
Wow.
And that's...
people get sick of hearing about it after a while.
Yeah. And you kind of get lost in the other Goodreads giveaways that are coming up, because more are coming in and you won't be top priority anymore. So I would say 2 weeks. And then Goodreads actually randomly selects who the winners are. So you don't even have to do that.
Okay.
And they notify everyone. And you're good to go. So it's very little involvement on your part. They take care of 90% of it.
Do you get email addresses or anything like that from?
No, you don't. But something that I would recommend that I've done in the past is going through the list of winners and friend requesting them on Goodreads. So you can start that connection. So you can at least be connected with them.
That makes sense.
And start that relationship. But with the premium giveaway, you can draft an email that is sent to those that don't win. And so that's the big draw. But you aren't able to include any links in that. Goodreads is very specific on what kind of information can be included in that letter. So it's something where I find, like, if you just at least reach out to those winners and request them as a friend, that gets things rolling, at least with the winners. And then you can kind of check in on them and see if they have left a review, or, just keep them updated on other things that are happening with you and your book.
But if your budget allows for the higher giveaway option, you're not going to discourage somebody from
No. I've had clients that use that. But I really think, especially if you're just starting off, and if this is your first Goodreads giveaway, start with the standard.
Absolutely. So just to recap, even if you have a large audience, but especially if you have a small audience, start with who you know. Focus all of your energy on the people that are already connected with you, on letting them know about your new book. Secondly, identify those local organizations and groups that you can connect with geographically around you. That's an easy shoe-in for you to make strong relationships and grow from there. And then thirdly is giving the Goodreads giveaway a shot. All right, so what is the make it happen moment for marketing your book with a small social media audience?
The make it happen moment is to really reassess. It's not about having a massive audience to start off with. You need to start with where you're at. And so kind of having a mindset adjustment. It's not a failure. This does not mean that your book isn't going to sell.
And your number of followers is not a measurement of your success as an author.
Exactly. So really giving yourself kind of a bit of a pep talk and just kind of readjusting your mindset and knowing that going forward, your audience is going to grow. You can continue to talk about your book. You can do giveaways. You can do ads. You can do all of that stuff later on as you're going. It's not all centered around your launch date. This book has a long, long life ahead of it. So readjusting your mindset and knowing that who you're connected with and the local organizations and then doing a Goodreads giveaway is a great way to get the ball rolling. So let us know if you have any questions or if this is something that you want us to talk further about, or if you have any thoughts or ideas.
And if you run into any problems, let us know what you're running into, because our experience may be different from yours.
Absolutely. There is no definitive map or plan that works for every single author.
And social media is constantly changing.
Absolutely.
So we all need to work together to help us all stay informed.
Absolutely. So until next time,
thanks for listening.
bye-bye.